welcome. We have the distinct privilege of being here with a certified badass. I'm sure you've heard it all. I mean, some of it's cheesy, some of it's not.
Yeah, you know what? I never bought the badass thing. I know I work with badasses.
You're a badass.
I know how to use a gun, and that's important too. Whenever someone would say, "Hey, so you said something to this guy? Do you know how to speak Arabic?" I'm like, I don't speak Arabic, but everyone speaks gun.
Yeah.
You kind of know what you're saying. So I knew how to do that.
Universal language.
Yeah.
Robert O'Neill, we're here doing some stuff with Lions Not Sheep, obviously at Ground Zero, which is really cool. It's a sentimental space for me because my cousin Robert Regan was killed here, died here. He was a firefighter, so it's really an interesting turn of events. We were just talking about having you be here, being the guy who took out the guy. There's a lot of the guys in this conversation who ultimately led to the knocking down of the towers. But tell everybody a little bit about your history really quick and where you've been, what you've done.
Well, it's one of those things where life happens around you as you're making a plan, but one of my favorite sayings, I never know where to give credit for this, is wherever you are, be there. Yeah. Be part of the moment. Joining the Navy because of a bad relationship. I need to get out of Butte, Montana. Tried to join the Marine Corps. Marine recruiter wasn't there. Joined the Navy because he told me you could be I wanted to be a sniper. He said, we have snipers in the Navy, you need to be a SEAL. I'm like, that sounds great. I didn't know what that was. And it was, just a positive attitude as far as one foot in front of the other. One of the things that we all have in common, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, is time. You will never stop time. Yeah. So 1 foot at a time and you'll get to where you're going. I went to SEAL training with a positive attitude, made it through because it was one meal at a time. And, the whole thing was going to be like most guys, most men and women that enlist. It's going to be 4 or 6 years and then get out. I finished SEAL training, finished the training, became a Navy SEAL, one deployment, then it's over. It's like, I can't leave now. I've sort of seen the world. These guys are great. I'll just re-enlist. Re-enlist, 9/11 happens right here. And then at that point, I was about 6 or 7 years in the Navy, and I'm like, well, now I can't leave. We're under attack. I'm a Navy SEAL. I heard about the SEAL Team 6 place. I went over there, tried out again, made it to that team, and just
the elite of the elite, the badasses of the badasses.
Yeah, but it's just because I wanted to be there, and I'm not bullshitting to kiss anyone's ass here. I remember thinking at SEAL Team 6, I hope I get to meet the guy from Delta who kills Bin Laden. I'm that close, because Delta's getting it, Army's getting it. They're gonna say, but I just stayed there and kept doing whatever, and I ended up on some of the missions. I was on the ground with a lot of guys to go after the lone survivor, Marcus Luttrell. That was a combined thing. Got Marines, Army, Air Force, Navy SEALs. And then I left on my birthday, Good Friday, April 10th, 2009, flew from Virginia Beach. I left my daughter's preschool after getting a call. And then 15 hours and 46 minutes later, my team's in the Indian Ocean, and the sniper shot the pirates that grabbed Richard Phillips. Just because we're there. And again, too, I'm not chasing glory. When the snipers were doing cool guy shit, I was actually getting coffee in the chief's mess because I just made chief. I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God, those are badass.
I don't have to do all the hard work.
Yeah. And it was almost like, you guys are awesome. Hey, what award are we going to get for that? But then just sticking around, a couple deployments to Iraq, and then we happened to be in the right place at the right time. The guys with experience on the right rotation to get the call to try to get Osama bin Laden. And the president was President Obama at the time, and he eventually said, I was never convinced he was there, but after talking to Admiral McCraven at Joint Special Operations Command, I was convinced you guys could go and figure it out and come back alive. And then it was never going to be me. That was never planned. We know the tactics. I know if you go this way, I'm going that way. I'm going to cover your back fields of fire. And it just happened. I happened to be following brave guys through a house. Ended up thinning down at the top of the stairs. A brave guy went in front of me. I turned right. There's the guy that blew these towers up. And it's just because, I'm with great people. The best pilots in the world, the air crew on those birds, they put their asses in the seats. They risked their life. The people that found them. It's one big team. Yeah. I just happened to turn the right corner. And we were just talking about this before. Being somewhere like this, if you look around, just the size of this memorial and how these two memorials affected the whole world. Everyone knows about it. And just to be in that spot where it came down to one team against the enemy. And he was the enemy. Al-Qaeda was the enemy. And they were in that house. I think 3 of the top 5 terrorists on the planet were in those 2 houses. We got all 3 of them. And it's just, again, just wherever you are in life, present yourself, be there, and don't hesitate.
Yeah. That's one of the antigens, one of the things we talk about at Lions Not Sheep is the presence, like being here. it doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about anything. Like, you could have $1 billion and you can't change tomorrow. You got $1 billion you can't change yesterday. The only thing we have control over is literally right now.
Right now.
Like, we literally can't change tomorrow. We can't change yesterday. So it's
that's a big one with yesterday too, because a lot of people regret yesterday. Hey, regret.
can't do a fucking thing.
Why don't you
about
learn? When I talk to football teams, doesn't matter why it's 2nd and 15. It just is.
Yeah.
Quit bitching. We got that time is running again.
Yeah, exactly.
Same shit.
You can talk about the last play, but literally the last play won't accomplish anything.
Learn from it and then get over it. And like in life, whatever it is, get over it. It happened. You're not getting it back. Learn, go.
Yeah. One of the things that you said earlier before we started chatting here is about killing people. You know, it's not fun.
No.
I think there's a lot of people that look at the military, they look at the gun situation, they look at what's going on in the country, they look at what's going on in the world with guns specifically. I mean, you've had that firsthand experience, and when you talk about that, say what you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's real. It's in front of you. It's even when I see a lot of those T-shirts that say I like to shoot people in the face, and that's like, no, you don't, because you've never done it.
Yeah.
And it has to be done, and people, men and women, have to do it. It has to be done, but it is a personal thing. At the time, when I was a Navy SEAL, it seemed normal because everyone's doing it, and you're part of the crowd. Yeah. But then you get done with it, and it's a very personal thing, and it's I did get to a spot. Part of the reason I got out before I did 20 was it was exciting. It was very exciting. As soon as we got to a point when guns started, you're on the 360 range, bullets are flying. It's going to raise it up a little. But then it got to a point, man, if I'm enjoying this, I'm starting to, if I get comfortable and complacent, the bullet needs to be right one time. But it's very real, and especially getting inside the house. I'm killing people. The furthest kill I've had. I mean, I was a sniper, but the furthest kill I had was from here to the tree, 20 yards, and the closest one is like it could be hand to hand. But like I said, everyone speaks gun. You have a second to convince me not to kill you at that point. But it is real because that dude's family is right there.
Like you mentioned that, like when you got Osama bin Laden, it's like his kids were right there.
Yeah, his 2-year-old son was standing right next to him. And just a caveat, fuck him, fuck bin Laden. Yeah. But you start looking at the kid like we were talking about. You only know what you're taught. This kid's got nothing to do with this. Yeah. And I start as a father, I'm thinking to my kids, I'm like, well, I got to move this kid. And that's, again, being an American, that's what the good guys do. We move the kids out of the way because Al Qaeda would not do that for us. Right. People need to know that. We talked about that too. Yeah. They're going to cut your head off. But the good guys don't. That's how we know we're the good guys. But I mean, it is personal. And the further away, me and other vets I've talked to, the further you get away from it, the more you realize is that, but like there's always evil. Yeah. And you need good guys to defeat evil. And that's just, it sucks, but it's the truth. But,
it's what it is.
Yeah.
What is, I'm just curious because I love my buddy Neil. You know Neil. Yeah. We talked about Neil Curry. I've had Neil share a lot of stories. I didn't serve. The stars aligned that I went one way in life and never ended up being there, but most of my friends are guys who have served. They've been in the military, special forces guys that I train with, I hang out with, and I hear a lot of crazy stories, and it's humbling. And some of the stuff that my friend Neil has talked about, being in the desert, going in these doors, he's like, you don't know if you're going into a house that has 15 Hajis behind it ready to freaking blow your brains out, or 15 kids in school, and you're going through a door and you have literally no clue. Like the bravery, I mean, maybe that's a cheesy word, I don't know.
No, I think it's a good word.
The ability that you have to translate that into the real world, to translate that audacity, if you will, that tenacity into the real world. This is something that I'm really, really passionate about right now, is trying to live that life where, hey, I'm facing some scary shit right here in front of me. What do I do? Like, how do you translate that military experience of walking into situations that you have no clue what's behind the door to today?
I think it's mastering the basics.
Because I think a lot of people, not to interrupt you, especially nowadays, man, you see this all the time. We're constantly scared of what if. And so we do nothing. So we end up standing back complacent. Men, women, families, like the entire notion of where a lot of people are today is inaction is still inaction. And most people are living in this place of fear of, I don't want to do anything wrong. I don't want to have anything happen. And you end up being like, it fucks with your brain, I think, more than making a mistake.
It can. If you're worrying about stuff that hasn't happened yet or that might not happen, you're wasting energy. And that's why I would say master the basics. It's if you go this way, I'm going that way, and it's that simple. And then, and we would even tell And it's all, it's on the job training, it's learning from experience, but experience is a lot more important than just classroom crap. Like you gotta see it there. When we would talk to intelligence analysts, they would say, okay, there's going to be 9 men, there's 13 women, and there's 20 kids. It's like, no, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Tell me how many people you saw, and I'll figure it out when I get there. Because I'm a big believer in the micro. I'm going to handle this right here, and then I will move to the next. Obviously, be aware of your surroundings, but there's so much shit that's not going to happen. Why are you wasting your energy?
Well, you talk to a lot of businesses and a lot of coaches and teams and stuff like that. I mean, that's probably one of the things that holds people back the most. Is like, I'm so worried about 27 steps down the road that I don't take the first step. And when you ever take the first step, you have no fucking clue about step 2 or 10 or 20. You
got to figure, too, most of the stuff you worry about never happens.
Right.
A prime example, there's two examples, one example of worrying is March of 2020. I'm a news buff and I follow the news, even though we don't know what's real and what's not. I remember I think it was a South Carolina primary for the Democrats, and the big concern was, is it going to be Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders? Right. And we're thinking about that Monday to Thursday, and all of a sudden on Thursday, boom, you're locked down because of this COVID thing.
Right.
I didn't see that on a Thursday, but here we are. And that would kind of segues into the groupthink mentality of prime example right now, because they're saying it's hot out here, that the climate change is this big, massive thing. And one of their things is, well, what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate cars and we'll all just share cars. And I think, yeah, that worked with the toilet paper, didn't it? Because we shared it.
Yeah.
Not that one asshole bought it, only Steve hoarded it.
Yeah.
So, two different trains of thought there. But most of the stuff you worry about never happens.
Yeah.
So, and again, if you can't affect it, stop worrying.
It's such a massive thing to be able to literally take a step. People ask me all the time, like on social media, how do you start? You fucking start.
Take a move. And make a move.
Start. I mean, you can think about running the marathon.
Yeah.
I can think about mile 8, 12. What happens if this happens? What happens if I get shin splints? What happens if da-da-da? Just fucking get on the starting line and
That's
go.
it,
and then you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out as you go. That's brilliant.
You get shin splints, you figure out the fucking shin splints. You mentioned media. I'm intrigued with your thought process, because you do a lot with Fox and
I've been on
you're
most
getting ready to go hang out with, some fairly liberal
I'm going to talk
guys.
to some liberals today about certain stuff, yeah.
What's your take on that right now? Like with not just the power of the media, but really like what's going on in our culture and how powerful the media is in affecting that?
Well, I think one of the best things you can do to be productive in life is to turn off the TV and your phone.
Amen.
Because most of the media is in Washington, D.C. and New York, and the politicians are all in D.C., and that's their little circle. And they own the airwaves. And all when we watch TV or get on social media, we hear what this group is saying, be it Fox or CNN or whatever, and they're saying this, and that's all we know.
What they want you to
hear. And then and then you get on with, I don't even think a lot of these people like on Twitter are real. They're just bots, whatever. Yeah. We were talking about the Yankees. One of my favorite quotes from Babe Ruth is, the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. That's it. And when you come out like here, these are normal people. These are real people. Most people here, they want to live their lives. They want to get married, have kids, have a house. They want to be able to afford stuff. But they're not really concerned about climate change regulations. They're worried about inflation, how much their gas is, why interest rates are going up. So their rent or mortgages, the rent's more, and they might not buy that house because the mortgage rates are too high.
A gallon of gas is a gallon of milk is $2 more expensive.
That's what they're concerned about.
Like, that's a big deal.
People are screaming about. It's like, this is New York. Guess what? It was this hot 10 years ago. Yeah. And they're trying to make executive orders to make us ride the bus. They'll fly private jets, and it's that small group of loud people. Normal people don't think. It's actually refreshing to get out and see people, because that's the reality of life, and that's And again, master the basics. And one of the things we learned in SEAL training is they like to tie us up, throw us in water, and they like to start chaos. And
we should do that to people, like everybody.
Oh yeah,
that'd be great. I think that'd be a great social experiment. But I digress.
The way you handle chaos is the only thing you need to be thinking about is your next breath. Yeah. I'm going to wait for that breath and I'm going to take it. So I'm going to stay calm until I can get it, and that's just, I think, good for everything. Okay, it's chaotic. Slow down and breathe. Stand up and breathe. Yeah. And that'll get you, I think, the motivation to take that first step. Because my goal's not over there. My goal's right there.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we talk passionately about with Lions on Sheep is having those goals, pushing to an agenda, having some place that you're going. Most people don't have an agenda or a place that they're going, which is why social media just throws people for a freaking loop. I mean, the way that COVID came into the scene, out of nowhere. 7 billion people on the fucking planet ended up throwing a diaper on their face. Like, that's some powerful fucking shit. That is but
we all believed it, and that's the power of the media.
People still running around with masks on. I'm like, yo, Did you know that?
Especially
did you hear Fauci say you don't need that anymore?
And he's retiring at the end of this
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
Well, yeah, and you would be torn off of social media if you suggest that even though it's called it was invented in Wuhan, you can't say it's Chinese. I mean, you're not even allowed to say, well, what if this was just made by the Chinese to see how the world would react to biological warfare? Well, guess what? Even if it wasn't, they saw what we do.
Yeah.
We're going to tuck our tails and run. And what's that saying? The difference between the truth and a conspiracy theory is about 8 months.
It's a wild time, man.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Like, what do you see changing? What do you see being the tipping point? We talk about this, and I know a lot of circles you run in, like everybody talks about, being ready, and here's the deal, the end of the world, la, 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 la. What do you see happening over the next 6, 8, 12, 18 months?
Well, I mean,
and you can't talk about the decrepit old man falling down the stairs.
No,
unless you want to.
No. I want to see change in Washington, but you're never going to see it because it's all about personal power. And one side more than the other, but both sides will do anything to get reelected. They don't really care. Like right now, they don't care about their constituents, meaning congressmen. They don't care about the people. They're a representative. They care about their party.
Yep.
They need to do. That's why they have party leadership. Why do they have closed door meetings? We as the public that vote them into power should be able to be in those fucking
Everything
meetings.
should be.
No, like look at Nancy Pelosi. She tells her husband what the vote's going to be. He's going to buy this, and nothing gets done.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would love.
So what do you think? How do you see change? What has to change in DC? I mean, you're a guy you're in the media. You see what's going on. I mean, you really have. I would consider somebody as your finger on the pulse of what's happening.
Well, I mean,
you know a lot of powerful people.
It's
like what has to change?
Term limits. You need to get
100%.
people. It's not the guy that's in the White House for 4 years that's a problem. It's the guy that's been in the Capitol for 50 years. Yes,
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, look at Joe Biden. He's been in politics since before I was born.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he was hiding there.
Yeah.
And he's still hiding there.
So if you were president, are you going to run for office?
No.
Why not?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't like the political.
I know you're good, but you should do it.
Okay, I'll be honest. My wife won't let me. She doesn't want to go to DC.
She can be convinced, right?
I don't know.
Look,
I mean,
you can decorate the
if
White House.
If I thought it would make a difference, I would. But right now, it's not worth the headache.
If you were in DC, first day on the job, what would you do?
It depends on which office. I would.
President.
The president?
Right to the top.
That's a good one. So, well, I mean, I would. Well, I mean, I'm a big believer in forward defense and alliance solidarity and deterrence. I would want to make sure that our enemies knew that we were for real. I'd kickstart the Keystone Pipeline open, but that's a bigger problem than it is now because even you say you got a guy like Donald Trump in office for 4 years, who knows going to be there 4 more years? Why are these people going to invest in that property when someone come in and destroy it? Right. The realization, nuclear energy is emission free.
You're going to have a busy first day with all these things.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. Okay, nuclear. If we had nuclear-powered cars, no gas, no emissions, you think that would make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make a nuclear car, but I know that electric cars are powered from cobalt that's mined by child slavery run by China in Congo. But I maybe try to open people.
What I thought they were just saving the earth.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, how about that thing too? It's like, well, where does the energy come from this car? Well, from that building. Well, where does that come from? I don't know. Well, it probably comes from fossil fuels or coal.
I mean, you have to educate yourself. So what you do is day one is you would educate people on what was really fucking happening in the world.
I don't know how to do it. That's why I don't want to get. I would try to surround myself with smarter people than me so that we could have a decent conversation, both sides of the aisle. Yeah. And I mean, the founders said the two-party system is going to kill. And there wasn't even a two-party system then. Mm-hmm. Lincoln was the first Republican, and he's the 16th president.
Yeah.
So
they had to drag George Washington in to be the first.
Yeah, they did.
He didn't want to do it.
They wanted him to be a king. He wanted to be a king.
I'm going home. He's like, I'm gonna go back to my plantation.
You would think he's kind of like.
Didn't
I do my shit when I crossed the Delaware to fight the Hessians? I'm good.
Dude.
I don't know. It's the swamp is real. The swamp has fangs and it will drag you down. We've seen it firsthand. I mean, you got to figure guys like Donald Trump that he didn't need to run for president. No. He had a pretty cushy life. Not cushy, but good.
Yeah.
Like he's got a penthouse on Fifth Ave and jets, like big jets.
I tell people that all the time. Like he had his own jet already.
Yeah.
He didn't have a private jet. He had an airline, a 737 or 727 with his name on it prior to being on Air Force One. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're
the
good.
Fucking dude was not like on the come up. Like,
no.
I think Obama's net worth was like $600,000, and now it's like $60 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you save that salary, $100K for 8 years, you can make $60 million. Sorry.
You buy crypto, right?
Yeah.
So a couple random questions for
Sure.
you. I just love getting in the mind of people. Like, what are you afraid of?
What am I afraid of?
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of complacency. I'd hate to see what happened here. I don't want another 9/11, but I'd love another 9/12. That's Dakota Meyer saying. I stole it from him.
That's a great quote.
That's his. I want to give Dakota credit for that. I want to see unity and the realization that we're all. I mean, whatever it is, we're in it together. But I'm afraid of complacency. I'm afraid of, not afraid, but I'm aware of people's unawareness. I mean, the mass shootings. When it's a shame that we need to be in a place where we're teaching children how to deal with a threat like that. You know, I want kids to be safe. I want kids to be taught the right thing, and I hate agendas. I don't want. There's certain things that kids need to be learning. We were talking about you only know what you're taught.
When we were kids, we had the drills underneath our desks and the whole freaking thing. There's always something. There's always something.
But I'd hate to see, you know, a crazy person with the belief that we don't think is real because we're not at war with them start killing random people. You know, I'm not worried. Like people say, you're worried about your safety. I'm not. I've got shotguns leading. I don't even need to reload because I've got tactical spots where I've got stuff. Like I always tell people, the next person I kill will be in my own house. I'm not going to look for it, but you come at me.
Yeah. My problem is I'm going to be like, shit, which one do I want to grab? Like this?
Do I want a shotgun kill?
Because I know the cops are going to take it. I really like this. Shit, I don't know. Bang, I get freaking whacked.
Yeah, my biggest fear.
Waylon had 600 guns within 5 feet of reach, but he got shot because he couldn't figure out which one. So how do we change things? Your opinion. God's honest truth. Like you're a father, I'm a father. Yeah. You know, you're leading conversations. Like Lions Not Sheep is leading conversations, which is really fun. But how do you really affect change nowadays?
Truth.
Huge.
We're afraid of the truth because people need to be in their safe spaces. Yeah. And I don't see. I can't remember the last time I personally was offended. Like I'll say that's stupid. You're an idiot. But like comedy, like some of my favorite comedians have a completely different political view than I do. Yeah. And most comedians that are funny are liberal as shit, and they're hilarious. And I'm not going to stop enjoying them. I'm not going to stop eating Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It's awesome. They nailed it.
Yeah.
So the truth, if you don't like it, you don't want to support it, don't eat it. Don't watch it, turn it off. You can turn the channel, you can do this. But when we try to protect everybody from bullshit and start telling people the truth is a lie and the lie is the truth, you know,
making good bad and bad good.
Well, I mean, look at a lot of these crazies. And again, I think it goes further than Democrat, liberal, or conservative, Republican. It's the fringes. Yeah. Where to put, like, look at the believe the science. Well, there's two genders. You're homophobes. Well, that's science. Can't we tell the truth? It's crazy.
What do you do as a dad? I mean,
I deal with it. I have kids, and I deal with it. And you know, I tell them as long as whatever someone is doing on their own, and they're not affecting anyone else, have at it. It's a free country. You do it. But when you start affecting people with your belief, if it might not be real, you know. I just retweeted my. I went to Montana Tech. I played basketball, but the coach, Bob Green, has all these great sayings. And one of the things he said was, whatever you do with your jammies, keep it behind closed doors. It's like, fine. So, but it's have an open mind.
How open are you with your kids? You tell your kids kind of...
They figured it out.
I've chosen... How old are your kids?
18, 17, 14.
I'm pretty open with my kids. I got a lot of shit for that. A lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't tell your kids this, whatever. And I'm like, my kids are... We had beepers. Like, I don't think my kids have ever used a payphone. I don't even know if they would know what a fucking payphone is, right?
I don't think they even talk on it.
I don't know that my kids would even know what do they even exist anymore?
Payphones?
I don't think so. Payphones? I haven't seen one in who the fuck knows how long. Maybe like in a museum, but like, it's a different day, man. It's a different age. The speed of technology, the speed of information that our kids have.
Well, I think too that
it's fucking wild.
That's something else with putting your head in the sand. If you think your kids don't have access to everything, you're lying. So tell them the truth if they ask. Again, tell the kids the truth.
I agree. I totally agree. If you could leave one message with the world.
With the world?
What would it be?
Be nice.
Be nice?
Be nice. I'm a big believer in morale. If people want to go to work, they're going to work harder. If you, people that are in charge, there's nothing. I had bosses that would say please and thank you for normal work. Sometimes in the military, which you don't need to, but it makes you feel like you're part of the team.
Yeah.
So not even be nice. Be respectful. Be good. Sometimes nice doesn't work. Sometimes. Sometimes I know it's not safe.
Sometimes the nicest thing you can do is punch somebody right in the face.
Seriously,
wake the fuck up.
What did Mike Tyson say? That the internet's made people too comfortable. Huh? Like people need to realize I'm right here, man. And if you got to solve it that way, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. You know, you got to fight it out. Fight it out. Don't kill each other.
Yeah.
Unless you need to.
Unless you need to. I was the headline of your Instagram. I was dying. I was looking at it last night.
That might be the one thing too. Is never lose your sense of humor.
Did a few things. Yep. Shot a few dudes. One dude was famous.
That's true.
I fucking love it.
I tell people too that Bin Laden wasn't the last guy killed with that gun. I went on another deployment with that same gun.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to explain the guy to him.
You still have it?
No, I turned it back in, and I don't know what they did with it.
No shit.
I think they probably broke it down and put parts into other people's guns.
Really?
Support guys. I guarantee it. I have part of it. I kept the part of it. So
cool.
this is an exclusive. You're the first one I've told that.
No shit.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Now we got to figure out what it is that I have and
We'll
see who wants to say.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll shake you down for it, but that's probably not going to happen. So, what's next for you? What's your dream? Like, what's on your bucket list? What do you want to really do in life?
Nothing. I'm happy where I am now. I got a good wife. I'm trying to learn how to golf. I had my when I
saw that. You're a cigar guy too.
Yeah, cigars. That's it. I'm drinking less and trying cigars more.
Good.
My psychiatrist getting out of the Navy said you need a because what are your hobbies? I said, well, I'm not going to shoot a lot. I'd like to shoot still. I'm not going to skydive a lot. I'm scuba dive once in a while.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you need a hobby to relieve stress. She had me take up golf. And I'll be honest, there's combat that's less stressful than trying to golf.
Oh, dude.
That damn ball is right there, and it's so hard.
Yeah, but one shot brings you back
That's
every single
I
time.
did it yesterday, and maybe 1 out of 18. But yeah, so I just want to do that. I like the beach. I like to get in the water. I started diving with apex predators, tiger sharks, great whites, and that's just. I think Tiger Woods had a good quote when he started scuba diving. He said, "When you're down at the bottom, the fish don't care who you are."
Yeah.
And it's just cool, nature. I like that shit. Lay low. I like to go to bed early, wake up early, have a cigar.
Dude, I tell people the same thing. Like, I did a podcast the other day. I'm like, look, you could take a black guy, a white guy, a gay guy, a straight guy, a purple hair guy, whatever. You drop everybody off 10 miles from my house in the middle of Utah, in the middle of the freaking Rocky Mountains. There's 500 creatures that want to kill you.
Oh, they'll kill you.
They'll kill you. They'll eat you equally.
Yeah.
Like, there is no feelings there, no emotions, no picketing.
There's no emotions in
protesting.
nature, no.
You're fucking food, and it doesn't matter who you are. And I have this real strong belief
You're
system.
food, yeah.
In Mother Nature. Like, we can't out-protest Mother Nature. We can't beat
Oh, they're
Mother
not going to
Nature.
listen to you.
Doesn't work like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, like a moose will kill you, unless you can climb a tree, and then a bear might get you.
By a moose? They're fucking
I've
scary.
seen them. I've hunted moose.
They're scary as shit.
They're big.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we connected.
Yeah, me too. I'm
I
glad we made it
appreciate
work.
What you're
And this
doing
is
here.
this is one of those things too. Like it's fortuitous. Wherever you are, be there. This just happened.
Yeah.
We happen to be here.
It's our first time connecting, and
Yeah,
obviously the circles, connect how they connect. But it's really cool for me being here today, obviously with my family and my kids, and then you being here, and kind of trying to tell them the circle of things because they're young. I mean, they're 10 and 12 years old.
Yeah,
they
and that's going to fly by.
They don't know some of this stuff, and what they're being taught in school is different than what I teach them. So it's been a really cool, cool experience. So any final words for the world?
No, that's
Anything
it.
You want to share with Lions Not Sheep? What does Lions Not Sheep mean to you? Last question.
Lions Not Sheep is
it's off the cuff too.
Yeah,
by
this
the
is
way.
totally off the cuff too. No, it is the don't fall into the herd mentality. And most of the time, it's okay. It's acceptable to just believe what everyone else. If something's wrong, something's fucked up, say it. And look, if someone hates you for it, fuck them.
Yeah.
And if they don't come around, fuck them. But
those were the quotes. If someone like fuck them, I say that all the time, and people are like, you're an asshole, you're a narcissist, you're a dick. I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of what I believe.
Yeah, I'm also in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean the sheep. You've seen the videos of there's a shadow of a fence, and one sheep jump, they all jump it. Yeah. The lion doesn't do that, and just be the person that's not afraid to go out and get it. Yeah. And you can see, you see a lion chilling, see a lion eating. Either way.
The lion does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
When he's hungry, he goes and he hunts and he kills.
Yeah.
Mother Nature.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if it's a gazelle, if it's an elephant, it's a fucking zebra. It's like, you're food. Yeah. I'm eating,
I'm eating first, by the way. The cubs, you can chill.
No, I'll eat, and then you guys can pick up the scraps. So, appreciate you, man.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good to connect. Guys, reach out, follow him. He's not hard to find. Golf's cigars. Send him some really good cigars. I'll send you some good ones because I love freaking cigars.
Yeah.
Terrible fucking golfer, but one day we'll get out and do
I'm
some
a terrible golfer too, but we'll do it. Utah's got some good courses.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.